Finally, we have made it. The week is over. It's Saturday night. And I, for one, am glad to see this week behind me. But not before. Not before we get nerdy tonight. So, fill your cup. Light your smoke. Because it's Saturday night. And it's nerdy time. How you do? What the crap? Oh, this is a great start. Look at my face. Oh, this is exactly how I feel about the way my camera was working earlier. Hold on. See, this is how my week's been going. I don't remember to hit buttons. My camera gets all weird. My car just... Anyway. Welcome. I don't know about you, but I'm glad this week is over and it is now time to finish it off with all kinds of nerdy chit chat. We got Brooke and David. What's going on? Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you. What's happening with y'all? Brooke's just been relaxing. Cool. Welcome in, everybody. Have we smashed the like? Everybody, please smash the like. Or in the case for this evening, bash the like. Because, you know, she'll bash Captain America. You get it. Music is a bit loud. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay, that's there. That's on. That's down. Camera's working again. Okay. I think we got it. Jesus Christ. I promise I'm not new. I've done this successfully more than once. Yeah, well. So what's been cracking with y'all? How am I doing? This ain't that kind of stream. Let's just say I'm glad the week's over. Or at least gotten to this point, anyway, of on the verge of being over, but not before we have some fun up in here. You're at Denny's? Bro, I haven't had Denny's in forever. I fucking love Denny's. I'm envious of you right now, Mr. Chen. I'm definitely envious. I fucking love their breakfast. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Other than my insane jealousy that you're at Denny's. You know, setting that aside. Okie dokie. Cool. So, I'm glad everyone's here. Please hit the like. And, you know, throw a comment into the chat, even if it's just like a howdy. If you're lurking. I just need the engagement. I need YouTube to love me. I'm trying to get to at least 300 subs by the end of this year. I need 100 more. Or no, I need 80 more. Sorry. So, if, you know, if you're hanging out, you like what you're hearing, hit the sub button. Right after you hit the like button. And then hit the bell. Your eldest has moved back home until February, huh, David? Well. Is everything okay? You're having country fried steak? Okay. Have you had the breakfast there, though, bro? It's amazing. Or as Rob would put it, it's amazing. But that does sound yummy, though, I must say. So is everything all right, David? Or just, you know, one of those things? One of those transitional things that sometimes crop up? Yes, I know. Yeah, if you hear and or see the cats, that's because my dumbass forgot to pick up wet food for them at the store today. And so they're wondering where their treat is at. Because they survive on kibble, but they get, you know, they get some wet food at night one time a day. And, like I said, my dumbass forgot it, so they're all like, what the fuck, Dad? So there I'm getting meowed at and rubbed up against, and more than likely one of them is going to, like, get frustrated and get all up in my face. So you'll probably see cat butt at some point. I'll be surprised if you don't. I'll just put it that way. Won't guarantee it, but I'll be mildly surprised. Speaking of. Speaking of. Yes, hi, buddy. I know. Daddy's an idiot. You're just going to have to deal with it. You're not going to melt. You're not going to waste away overnight. Silly cat. Saving money before moving to Manchester. Cool. One of my friend's birthday is coming up Monday, says Brooke. Gonna wish him happy birthday that day. Hopefully he comes online for a bit. He's been offline for a long time. Hope he's okay. Hope he's doing okie dokie. All right. Well, we have much to discuss today. We got an episode of Agatha to talk about. We got some DC casting news to talk about. We got all kinds of Marvel stuff to talk about. And then, of course, the big headline that I put in the thumbnail. A massive plot leak has come out for Cap 4. It essentially the movie. So we'll definitely be going over that in full spoilery action. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I don't know why my head was turned that way. Anyway, so yeah, that'll be heavy, but we'll save that till last. Oh yes, Penguin as well. Yeah, that was also a good episode. Thanks for reminding me, Brooke. Yeah, good luck to your eldest as well, David. May his plans come to timely fruition so he can get the hell back out of your house. Yeah. Yep. All right. Pull up my reference material here. Do. Yeah. Interesting. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Where is that other one? Where'd the DC shit that I had bookmarked go? Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, there's one. There's one. Did I not? Oh, I guess I didn't. Holy shit. Anyway. So, before we get into DC, actually, there's a wee... Well, you know what? Fuck that shit. Who cares about Star Wars right now? Alright, so, DC's got a couple things happening over yonder. One of them is that we now have 2 leading candidates for... shit. Of course I'm brain farting. This, I knew this was... Just bear with me, guys. Yes, okay. No. Fukukachu. Oh, I'm searching my bookmarks, not my regular. That's not a full search. What a dingleberry. There we go. Lanterns. Good God. Alright, let's add this. There it is. There it is. Okay. The DC Absolute Comic Series is pretty good, at least from how Rob covers it. Nice. That's good. I would love. No response? Okay. What do you mean no response? Hi, Deadpool. I'm scrolling through the chat, and this is the first time you've commented. Bye. Glad you're here. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's the only chat I have from you as I scroll through my very short chat box at this point in time. So, yeah. Hi. Welcome. Appreciate you. All right, so first things first. First things first. Yes, I know, finally. It's been a week for me, so evidently it's continuing into the stream. My apologies. Bear with me just a little bit. We'll get it together here eventually. Mostly, more or less, a bit. All right, so first little bit of DC news. Oh, the leaks are last because they're extraordinarily spoilery. So I want to give people a chance to enjoy the rest of the news before we get to that if they wish to avoid the spoilers. So, first thing up. As we already know, they cast Kyle Chandler in the role of Hal Jordan for the HBO series they are calling Lanterns. But now we have two contenders, and two contenders only. The first is this guy. This is Aaron Pierre. And this is Stephen James. They started their screen tests on Thursday. Now, I've never seen this fella here, Stephen James, do any work, but Mr. Pierre here is from that Netflix movie Rebel Ridge. Has anybody seen that? Did anybody watch the Rebel Ridge movie on Netflix? I did. I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like it didn't blow my mind or anything, but it was definitely an enjoyable watch. Anybody in chat watch that stuff? What's up with DC casting older actors than Superman's actor? That's been James Gunn's plan the whole time. His whole deal in his DC universe, what he's said from jump is that in his universe, superheroes have been around like for years. Not yet, but it's on your short list. I recommend it. Especially if they end up casting this fella. That'll give you a very good idea of what we'll be getting in the HBO show. And I, for one, am totally down. The only character that you'd be fine to see being played by an older actor is Batman. Well, that's also part of the plan. Like, Superman's supposed to be the youngest character in his DCU. Like, this is him being fresh on the scene. The Superman movie next July. The whole premise of that is he's been Superman for like just a couple years. And he's like the new kid on the block. Like Guy Gardner, the Lantern that's in that movie. He's been around a bit. He's older. Like, all the heroes and villains that we're going to see in that movie have been around longer than Superman has in the scene. Like, that's the whole deal. It's almost the exact same setup that Matt Reeves used in The Batman, because Bruce Wayne at that point had only been active for 3 years in that movie. Or Superman is already old, but he didn't look like he aged. Well, what I'm saying about the Superman thing is what Gunn has said his plan is. So he wants a Superman younger than all the other heroes. Still, squeaky clean and super fresh and not jaded in the least. Basically the exact opposite of Snyder's. So, going back to the Christopher Reeve Boy Scout style of Superman, which I am down for, as long as it's done as well as Reeve did it. Because I love me some Cavill Superman. Man of Steel was magnificent. But, yeah, so these are the two contenders to play a younger Jonathan Stewart to Kyle Chandler's mentor, to his mentor, Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler. Has any of you guys seen this guy in anything? Because I have not. What has he been in? Hey, what's going on, Rob? How you doing, brother? Let's face it, the Snyderverse is dead. Oh, it's definitely dead. That's never coming back. That's for sure. Let's hope the DCU can catch up better than the DCEU. I mean, yeah, I would love to have an actual, I'd love fucking awesome DC movies. I would love to have that. Give me 2 thriving comic book franchises to bounce back and forth between, depending on who's in the theater when. That'd be ideal. I'm tired of having to shit on DC for, being DC. I'd love to praise DC for putting out good stuff. What are my thoughts on RDJ playing Doctor Doom? I fucking love it, bro. RDJ is hands down the best actor in the entire MCU. And SSU, even though the only tie between that and the MCU is Spider-Man. But yeah. So I am very, very, very excited to see his take on Doctor Doom. Plus, they're going to be throwing in twists, just because of the fact that he has 616 Iron Man's face. But he's Victor Von Doom, so they're going to be playing around with that a wee bit, I would imagine. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I think he's going to do really well. I hate you 3000, Robert Doomey Jr., right? Yeah. Rob says, kids had their fall fundraiser thing yesterday. Company picnic today. Community yard sale tomorrow. How do you think I'm feeling at this particular moment? Probably fairly fatigued, but also hopefully fairly stoned. But yeah, you're probably a wee bit tired, I would imagine. That's supposed to be there. Okay, cool. So do you guys know anything about this Stephen James guy? This guy here? You know what? Let me look him up a little bit. Hold on. Go back to this screen for all my searching real quick. What has he been in? Stephen James. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Oh, he was born the year I graduated high school. How fun. Fucking. Ding ding. Yeah. Won a Canadian Screen Award for Best Actor for his role as Jesse Owens. Cool. Couple Golden Globe Award nominations. Several Academy Award nominations. All right. Filmography. God damn it. Ooh, he was in Selma. Oh, that's why he looks just the teensiest bit familiar. Piano Lesson, Babes, Delia's Gone, National Champions, 21 Bridges, Beale Street Guitar, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So he has won a Black Film Critics Circle Award, a Canadian Screen Award, and a Women Film Critics Circle Award. And all kinds of nominations. So, yeah, he's got skills. He has the skills. Oh, I like that. Here's him looking just a wee bit more mature. Oh, so much for that one. That's right, I gotta do it this way. Yeah, that. So, yeah. If he has more of that look, I can see it more, but he looks a lit. Like, I know they want a younger Jon Stewart, but, no, that other picture, okay. But, you know, obviously I'm a little biased because I've actually seen a little bit of this guy's work, so I kind of would prefer him, but, you know, I think either one would really be all right. Actually, this guy might play off of Kyle. He and Kyle Chandler might actually work a little bit better together. I don't know about skill-wise, but at least age gap-wise, you know? Like, he doesn't need to look this fresh-faced, mind you, but, you know, could be cool. But yeah, so that is one little bit of the DC news for this evening. What up, C-Dub? How you doing, bro? Deadpool says, you know, Martin Scorsese was right about superhero movies, but guess what? I enjoy the ride. Actually, at least for me, he's completely objectively wrong. RDJ himself said that his best dramatic work came under his role as Tony Stark, so well-done comic book movies are just as much cinema as anything else. It's just a different style. But they are just as much cinema as anything Martin Scorsese considers to be cinema. He's just got a very... Scorsese's problem is he has a very narrow view of cinema. Like, what he thinks is cinema, I also think is cinema. But, the highest tier of comic book movies are also cinema. They're very cinematic stories just told through the lensing and setting of comic book characters. Like, never underestimate the quality of a comic book story. Just because the medium to you may seem childish or what have you. Like, for example, the guy that's probably the best writer in comics right now, Jonathan Hickman. If he wrote his stories, if he wrote his Fantastic Four run, his Avengers and New Avengers run, which consists of a few stories culminating with Time Runs Out, and then, of course, Secret Wars. Like, if those came out in novel form rather than comic book form, those would be lauded. And then anything they were converted into would be lauded as cinema. So, like... Oh, the Dark Knight trilogy is magnificent. That's my favorite Batman trilogy. And Bale is my favorite Batman. C-Dub says, I got a margarita and just lit up a J, though, so I'm good now. Excellent. Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man is the best. Got to take a break from 616 Spider-Man until they get him right. Yeah, I've heard many good things about the new Ultimate Spider-Man that Hickman's writing right now. Many, many, many good things. Excuse me. But yeah, I've heard quite a bit of the new Ultimate stuff that Marvel's putting out is pretty good. Not all of it. I mean, I haven't read any of it. This is just what I've heard in general. Like I've heard from, I've heard from YouTubers. I spend a lot of time on the Twitex. So like, putting all that information together. Overall, the new Ultimate line is pretty good. Ultimate Spider-Man is, I guess, awesome. I can't remember some of the other titles that have been lauded. I'm brain farting on one specific one I heard is kind of weak, but Dibble says, I guess the Batman was inspired by the Dark Knight trilogy. I mean, I can see how, because the Dark Knight trilogy was the most grounded Batman we got until the Batman. The new Ultimate Spider-Man is like a combination of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Peter B. Parker from the Spider-Verse. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, I heard that, like, he and MJ were already married with kids before he even got the spider bite, and I can't remember who, but someone came through time and, like, talked to him about being Spider-Man. I guess he was having dreams about being Spider-Man or some shit. And then, someone popped in time and had, like, the radioactive spider in a case and was like, you want the bite or not? We're going to need you. And he took the bite, and after being married with kids is now Spider-Man, and on goes the comic. Something like that, I believe. But yeah, I hear that's pretty fucking good. Excuse me for one moment, please. Watching the Dodgers game. Oh. It was a teenage Tony Stark? That ain't the first time you've seen a teenage Tony? Interesting. Tio! Buenas noches. Have I read Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men? I have not. Hope MCU intros mutants that way in the new reboot after Secret Wars. Yeah, I am very curious how they're actually going to introduce them. Like, there's been all kinds of rumored plans for them. And I'm pretty sure I'm down for everything I've heard. That's the feeling I remember having. Anyway, but yeah. But yeah, I've heard the Ultimate X-Men is pretty decent. Yep. Yep. Oopsie. There we go. Yeah. So, got another little bit of DC announcement happened this week. What the fuck was that sentence I just said? Anyway, there was another announcement from DC this week. And it is this. Directly from the horse's mouth, James Gunn did post, "Over the moon excited to announce the newest DC Studios Warner Brothers Pictures Animation greenlit film for theaters, Dynamic Duo. The story of Robin, or should I say Robins, as in Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. The first feature film from the visionary Swaybox, a mix of animation, puppetry, and CGI. A script from the wonderfully talented Matt Aldrich. Produced, or is it Aldrich? Not sure. Anyway, produced with our partners at Matt Reeves' 6th and Idaho. This is something special." Interesting. So at some point down the road, we are going to get an animated feature called Dynamic Duo, which has, is traditionally Batman and Robin are the dynamic duo. And is going to be in this new animation form that created by Swaybox Studios, I guess. And partnering up with Matt Reeves for it, too. Interesting. Now, Swaybox. That new animation style. Where is it? Where's that frickin' comparison? Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, look at this shit. Okay, this is crazy. You know what? Let's do this. Clicky. Swaybox Studios has a reel from 2017. So this is a 7-year-old reel. So who knows how much better it would be now when they actually make Dynamic Duo. But let's check this shizzle out. Can I make this? Yes. Wow. So this is Swaybox animation 7 years ago. Oh, this is what they mean when they say a combination of live action. Damn, bro.
So look, when Haggerty shows up, I'll grab him quick and tell him how he can fit into the campaign.
Hey, I don't know that we need to do that.
You think so?
I do.
Okay, you're the man.
Everyone, this is Mr. Haggerty. Mr. Haggerty, I'd like you to meet our campaign staff right here.
Everyone, please just call me Bill.
Of course, this is my brother.
And his
This
campaign
is
manager.
kind of wild.
You did talk to your brother, right?
Yeah.
I think this would be a good
Now,
opportunity.
this is their first film and highly stylized, but
I know
obviously.
It's my plan. That's why your brother
But,
brought you to manage
damn.
the campaign.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Ronnie and I talked.
The people in that room can't run a campaign.
Oh, is that what he said? You mean he told you
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
it's
told
only
you
just
7
under
weeks
4
ago?
minutes.
Get fucking
You
rid of him.
said you talked to your brother first.
I was going to tell him as soon as Haggerty accepted.
What the fuck? What's this guy doing? Did he just strip down and... Okay. It's really goofy at first, but once you get used to it, it's pretty fucking cool. In the summer of 2017, blah, 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 a new animated facial technology called Tink.
Get the 2-shot. No zoom.
To test the expressive range of Tink, we gave ourselves the challenge of matching a scene from the Iron Giant. Oh, here we go. This is the clip that I was seeing on the TwitX.
Oh my God! Thank you for the food that Mom has put in front of us, and stop the devil from doing bad things. And get out of here, Satan.
Action test sequence from The Rescuers Down Under. Bro. How about that shit? And remember, that's 7 years old. That's back from 2017. So that's gonna look like so the dynamic duo is gonna look like that, but with 7 years improvements in technology and practice. That's fucking nuts. What do you got? How'd you guys think? What'd you guys think about that shit, huh? Let me catch up on some chats while you think about that, and put your responses in the chat for me to read as well. And also, more people. I hope everybody, if you hadn't yet, pretty please hit the like. And, if you're having fun, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. I am trying to get to 300 subs by the end of the year. Well, check that. At least 300 subs by the end of the year. So, hit that sub button, hit that bell, hit the like, please, and thank you. Dibbles asks, who do you think should play Logan in the MCU once Hugh Jackman hangs up the claws? My pick was supposed to be Tom Hardy, but he already played a lot of the comic book characters. It is like super fucking hard for me to imagine anyone other than Hugh, honestly. Cavill would be cool, but I would honestly like a slightly younger actor. I mean, they can age him up to make him look. They can make a young person look as old and gruff as they want to. It's easier to age a young person up than it is to de-age an older person. So. So I wouldn't mind seeing Cavill for a minute, but he couldn't be Wolverine for very long. He'd be more of a treat actually than a long-term solution. I mean, people have been fan casting Taron Egerton forever, and he would be good. They would definitely have to do something with that face, because he's too pretty to be Wolverine. So they're going to have to put some kind of makeup on him to rough him up a bit, make him look a little more rugged. If you know what I'm saying. Who else? I can't think of any names offhand. I think it'd be interesting to cast, I mean, not necessarily a 5'3" actor, but, a somewhat shorter actor, so it's at least slightly more comic accurate. Rather, cast someone who's like 5'8" instead of someone who's like 6'1". I think that could be cool. But they better be swole like a fire plug. Like, they need to be basically, this is how they should look when walking around naturally. So, but yeah, I don't have a specific pick. I would actually have to somehow force my brain to be willing to research actors. Brooke says, hoping to read the Ultimate Invasion 2023 storyline. or the storyline for that is interesting. Ooh, Ultimate Invasion. That sounds fun, for sure. Dio says, kind of look like puppets, but it looks nice. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it took a bit to get used to. Like, the first minute, I'm like, I don't know about this shit. But the more I watched it, the more I'm like, realized how intricate it actually is, and I'm like, ooh. Like that Christian Bale gif. That was kind of how I started to feel by the end of it. Deadpool says, I'm tired of the Joker 2 hate. I see so many fake critiques making fake opinions on Joker 2 because it's not MCU. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of, I'm sure there's plenty of those bots running around shitting on Joker 2, but I know there's plenty of accounts I follow that I know for sure are not bots, and yeah, Joker 2 is pretty much getting shit on legitimately all over the place, as well as by MCU stan bots. Davis says, looks interesting, but like to see how they handle a fight scene. Yes. Yeah, if we could get just a little bit of advanced footage for, exact like a fight scene, like you just said, that would be dope. Brooke says, kind of excited for a dynamic duo. I think it's going to be interesting. The question is does Gunn plan on making that canon? And if he plans on making that canon, how is he, like, because it's, I don't know why he announced it today, or this week, but it's gonna take a minute. Like, they actually have to write the script and storyboard it out, and then actually get into the animation. The animation itself is going to take a couple, 3 years. So, I mean, what is it? Almost the end of 2024 right now. We're in October, so that's almost the end. Oh my God, we're almost out of 2024 already. That's both good and bad. So, I mean, it's probably not going to be till like even if they literally started now or yesterday or this week, I mean, there's no way in fuck we see that before 2028. Yeah, it probably won't be till 29. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out, both in terms of quality and what Gunn plans to do with it in his DCU continuity. Brooke says, haven't seen Joker 2 yet. Might just wait until streaming to see it, to be honest. Brooke says, yeah, I think the idea of Evil Reed is the most interesting part of Ultimate Invasion from what I've heard about from videos. Cool. Deadpool says, Joker 2 is pretty good, man. There's nothing wrong about it. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's not universally hated, just a majority of what I've seen out there. But there are people out there that enjoyed it and are defending it, for sure. Just not many is all. I mean, I'm not good. Cannot personally pronounce the quality on that movie because I have not yet seen it. I can say I know what happens, and as a concept, I'm not that thrilled with it, but it would not be the first time I've seen something on paper that I thought looked a little weird, but when it actually showed up on screen, I was like, oh, gotcha. So, yeah. All I'm doing right now is reporting on what I have seen out there in the nerdy zeitgeist, and most of what I've seen about Joker 2 is that it is straight ass. Now, I'm not saying it's straight ass. Let's be clear. I haven't seen it. I cannot say that. But what I can say is most of the reactions that I've seen in the nerdy zeitgeist ain't good. Ain't good at all. yeah, just do that, dumbass. Good God. Good God. Okay. Where's that at? Oh, goddamn girl. Here's another little tidbit. We're, by the way, that's it on DC. Because I do not want to spend a lot of time talking about Joker 2 because there's, like I said, according to the Zeitgeist, there ain't that much to talk about. And I haven't seen it, so I can't speak with any authority about it. Anyway, but yeah, so far as his performance, it is, well, quite frankly, pathetic. Where's that one? Finally learning how to navigate this Twitter bullshit better. Where is that one? Come in. Oh, yeah. That's me having to educate fools. Come on. What is with you, mouse? Like this one, for example. This isn't the exact one I'm looking for. This courtesy of Geek Vibes Nation. Joker Folie Dieu brought in $20 million on its domestic opening day. This is below The Flash and The Marvels opening day numbers and similar to Morbius. The film is now tracking for a $35 to $40 million opening weekend, nearly 3 times lower than the first Joker. Oh, yes, this is the one. Joker 2 has a lower CinemaScore grade than Madam Web. Madam Web got a C+. Joker 2 has a D. So, like I said, I have no idea. I cannot form an actual statement on the quality of Joker 2. Folie Dieu. What up, Griff? Myself, but the word on the streets is it sucks. It is ass. But of course, we must all decide for ourselves. But I'm sorry. That's fucking rough, bro. Getting a lower cinema score than Madam Web. Mouse, what are you doing to me here? It, like, goddamn. Goddamn. That's about all I can say. Robert, my boy Rob, says, I won't comment except I still haven't been excited enough to see either. Doesn't mean it's not a good movie. I just watched White House Down for the first time and thought it was good. Griff says, wow. Yeah, that's right. I watched the first Joker. It was interesting. I mean, it was out for like, you know, a good couple years before I finally got around to watching it because I was not super interested in that take on the Joker in the first place. But once I watched it, I was, I wasn't woo Joker, but you know, I was like, this is a pretty decent movie. The fact that the laugh was actually a nervous tick was an interesting take, for sure. Pardonnez-moi. Rob says Borderlands was wet, sloppy dog crap. Madam Web is the worst one ever. Not according to Cinema Score. Brooke says, I liked the first Joker. Yep. Rob says, so who knows until we watch, unfortunately. Yeah, well, I didn't go to the theater for the first one, which, turned out to be $1 billion movie. I am definitely not going to the theater for this one. It's definitely, I'm waiting for that shit to hit streaming. For sure. And I probably won't be like, I will not be waiting with bated breath for its streaming release. I will say, if things keep going on this trend, this bitch will be on streaming by Thanksgiving. Cinema Score, no sloppy dog crap? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with them all the time. I just think it's funny that inside their system, that's where it landed. That's all. Yeah, that's all. Griff says, well, I hope Venom 3 and Kraven perform well. I just hope they're good. If they're good, they'll perform well. That's not necessarily true. Because Sony has broken a lot of trust with the fandom recently. So we shall see. If they do perform well, it'll be A, because they're good, and B, because the goodness caused a shit ton of word of mouth. That's how those movies will perform well. That's the only way, in my opinion, that those movies will perform well. C-Dub says, I really liked the first one, but I have almost zero interest in this one. I mean, yeah. Mecca, what's going on? Kraken is going to be interesting, LOL. You mean Kraven, I assume? I mean, the mythical creature, the Kraken, is pretty dope. The film A Kraken joke is pretty funny. Rob says, I want to watch Kraven. Don't know why. I'm still back and forth over whether I'm going to see that in the theater. I will say this. The violence looks awesome. The action looks pretty fucking good. So, that interests me. I'm hearing speculation that, so y'all remember the first trailer? When it looks like he got his Kraven powers from being bitten by a lion? There are rumblings out there that some of the reshoots that it went through was to change that stupid shit. So, hopefully that's the case. So that kind of gets me a little bit more willing to go see that shit in the theater. And I will say, at least in the trailer, Rhino looked like shit. He looked like ass. I was not impressed. But that's trailer Rhino. They can obviously clean that up before this bitch comes out. So I'll probably end up going to see it in the theater just because it looks like, if it's not good, it looks like it'll be potentially a fun ride. So there's that. Looks like it could be a fun movie if it's not good. You know what I mean? Travis, what's going on? He says, how's it going, guys? Haven't seen Joker 2 yet, but unfortunately had a huge part spoiled for me by accident. Don't read the cast list on the Wikipedia. Ha ha. Oh. C-Dub says, Mecca says, nice. C-Dub says, I like Joker 1, but not really as a comic book superhero movie. It was just a good movie character study, like Taxi Driver. Yeah, I've heard a lot of comparisons to Taxi Driver with that movie. Mufasa was my father too, Simba. What? That's oddly non-contextual. Is non-contextual a word? Not sure. All right. Back we go. Scroll. Wait a minute, what is that? Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. Actually, you know what? Where is it? Yeah, this one. Yes. Glad they did the reshoots? Yes, me too. Brooke says, looked up Taxi Driver. Seems pretty cool as a movie. Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. Travis says, I remember that first Venom teaser in late 2017 with Hardy's voiceover. It seemed like a wildly more serious movie, and I speculate it was made funnier in ADR. Oh, probably. I mean, Tom Hardy has got a pretty decent sense of humor, though. He's a pretty decent comedic actor. For sure. All right. Let us move to Agatha, shall we? First, we'll start with this little tidbit, and then we'll talk about the episode. Brad Winderbaum, who I'm inclined to believe will end up being Feige's successor over Nate Moore, says Agatha all along has the best continuation rate among all the Marvel series on Disney+. Continuation rate refers to the percentage of people who continued watching the series after the premiere. So basically, from the 2-episode premiere through now, the percentage drop-off in viewership for Agatha is the absolute smallest out of all the Disney Plus Marvel shows. So in other words, the viewership is staying relatively, I think you could say, consistent. There are occasions where show viewership actually goes up. I don't know if it's in a Disney Plus series. Some HBO series that's done that. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. I'm not sure if the... oh, yeah. Penguin's numbers went up. We'll get to that, too. Fucking love that show. Anyway. So... yeah, that Agatha evidently has a good continuation rate. A really good example of a garbage continuation rate would be The Acolyte. That is an example of probably the worst continuation rate that shows get. Like, that shit dropped precipitously after Flashback episode number 1, which was episode number 3 in the overall series. So, to give an example. Now, first of all, I find that interesting. And second of all, no, C-Dub, I'm behind on my classics. I'm sorry. So sorry. No. Where the fuck was I before I got called out for my slackingness on classic movies? Right, Agatha. So, viewerships. Taxi Driver is fucking awesome, fucked up, and intense as fuck. Well, goddamn, I guess I'm gonna have to find a place to stream that shit then. That's a very that's a strong endorsement. That's an enthusiastic endorsement. That's kind of an intense endorsement. It's kind of endorsement that does make me want to watch the movie, though. I will say that. So, yeah. So, how does Agatha have the best continuation rate over every other Marvel show? Evidently, yes, Griff, better than WandaVision and Loki. Well, see, here's what I think. WandaVision and Loki were made, A, for broader audiences. That's one thing. I think that's the biggest difference. is, let's face it, Agatha all along was not created, written, and executed for a broad audience. It is definitely a show geared towards women in the LGBTQ plus community. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Not as long as it's a quality show. And it's a quality show. Actually, in general, is gearing stuff for those for women in the LGBTQ plus community. No. In general, it is not a wrong thing. Trying to cater to niche audiences in large IPs is in general not a good idea. Just overall, in terms of brand dilution. But that's just from a purely business standpoint. From a societal standpoint, yeah, fuck yeah, do that shit. But let's face it, it was not written for the broad audience. It was written for a couple sections of the audience. And for what appears to be the first time in a long time, those audiences are actually responding to programming made for them. They're sticking with Agatha. Where the Acolyte was not stuck with. And the Acolyte was basically created for the same, for the most part, for the same two segments of the fandom, women and the LGBTQ plus community. The big difference is the Acolyte was made like crap, and Agatha is actually a pretty fucking well-made show. So that's why people are sticking with it. And on top of that, it seems to be holding on to the people who are checking it out or for people who are checking it out and enjoying it outside of the target audience, like myself and most of you. Like it, as far as I know, it's pretty much all dudes up in this bitch tonight, and we're not the target audience, but for the most part, as I've seen, like, you know, seeing you guys in other chats and shit, is we also are enjoying this fucking show, right? So, and we're sticking with it too. And that's what happens when you create a quality show. Whether for no matter what audience it's targeted for, if you make a good show, not only will you hit your target audience and keep them hanging around, but that target audience knows family and friends outside of that target audience that they could bring in, and they hang around and enjoy the show because it's a good show. Those of us who do this just because, A, we love Marvel, and those of us who also have YouTube channels, we're going to be watching it regardless. But again, it's awesome, so we get to finally talk positive about something. And we are also not the target audience. So, since it's good, since it's quality, it's retaining its audience. And also because its target audience is so small, it's a lot easier to keep it's a lot easier to keep a smaller audience loyal to your show than it is a larger audience. Which is why, even though it is hard to believe, Griff, it's probably very true that it has a better continuation rate than even WandaVision and Loki. Just because WandaVision and Loki had bigger audiences than this show does, therefore the odds are greater to lose greater percentages of that audience, which is what happened. It's just a percentage game, basically. It's all a percentage game. And it's easier to have smaller percentages of drop-off when the audience for your show is small in the first place. And we already know it's small because it only got 9.1 million views worldwide in a week. Where comparatively, The Penguin got 10 million views over a week. It turns out they added more just domestically. Evidently, word of mouth got out. That might have been a week and a half. The third, because the premiere was on Thursday, and then the second episode was on Sunday. But still, that outpaces them in only a couple more days, but only here. Agatha's numbers are global. Penguin's numbers are just for here. So, like I said, not a lot of people are watching Agatha, but those that are sticking with it at a much higher rate than every other Disney Plus Marvel show has managed. And I think that's cool. Regardless of whether it's for a broad audience or not, having a pretty successful, at least in terms of watchability, Marvel show again is pretty nice. Pretty nice, I gotta say. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about that if you haven't already in the chat, or tell me twice, I don't care. Excuse me. But yeah, I think it's interesting and cool. And again, due to audience size, it's easier for that show to achieve that milestone. That's a good word. There wouldn't be any Tarantino movies without Taxi Driver, says C-Dub. Well, shit. I really need to watch that. David says, still not seen Agatha yet. It's on my long short list to watch, but not at the top. Hit the long short list, he says. I'm enjoying it. Our tastes are not identical, but if that, I don't know if that'll help or not, but it's surprisingly quite enjoyable. C-Dub says, also the king of comedy. That and Taxi Driver both are basically Joker 1. Okay. Brooke says, Acolyte not great, but Agatha has been really fun as a show. Yeah. 100. Brooke says, I just found a tweet about a rumor that Miles Teller will show up as the Maker variant in Fantastic Four. Shared the tweet in your server. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I can't remember if I bookmarked it or not. Yeah, I seen it. No, I didn't bookmark it. But I seen it. That's interesting. That is definitely interesting. For sure. Brooks says, seems like Agatha did a good job of catering to a certain audience while still remaining a very good show overall. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the cool part is if Marvel hadn't been fucking up, this show would be A, reaching a broader audience, and B, probably retaining a fair chunk of it. So, yeah, it's interesting that A, it's doing this well, because let's face it, it was conceived and executed in Phase 4, and as we all know, the most of the Phase 4 products and Phase 5 not that great. So, you know, we had good reason to be skeptical about this show, I would say. And finally, skepticism was unwarranted. You know? That's actually pretty kind of fucking cool. Rob says, I really like Agatha. It knows what it is, does it well by not making that cultural part the whole focus, is a fun show with great costumes and interplay. Yeah. I mean, you cannot say that they're being shy about it at all. But they're not making that the entire focus of the character. They're giving us full characters, well-rounded characters. You know, deep, multifaceted characters. And that's what you need to bring. Like, a single-faceted character is ass, no matter what the single facet is that you're concentrating on. It's just, a single-faceted character is just a bad character. Period. That's just the way it is. Shallow characters are bad characters. You want deep characters. You want multifaceted characters. You want characters with layers. Like ogres in onions. So, yeah. That's key. And unfortunately, got to go back to this fucking show again. The Acolyte had pretty shallow-ass characters. For the most part. So, like, the difference is, like, they're set up basically the same. They are accentuating the same groups. They're created for the same groups. But the Acolyte did it bad, and Agatha is doing it good. And that's the only difference. So I'm going to just go ahead and say right now to the hate baiters, again, it is being proven that something can be woke, fucking idiots, and still be really fucking good. And as for the super toxic ones on the other side, now you see the difference as to why the Acolyte got canceled and this show is doing well. Even though they're essentially the same show in two different universes. At least when it comes to themes and what parts of society are being brought forward. So that's what it is. You got two shows with the same basic goals in terms of who they want to reach, what part of society they want to highlight, and all that kind of stuff. But one did it badly, and one is currently in the middle of doing it quite well. Brooke says, as for Penguin, I think people just like how it's such a good gangster show. Plus, it leads to Batman 2, and people are excited about what is going on in Pattinson's Batman universe. Yeah. Yeah, The Penguin is a really good gangster show. Really good. And yeah, it is well known that it is supposed to lead directly into Batman 2. And yeah, a lot of people really like Pattinson. I think he's just okay. I need to rewatch The Batman, honestly. I've been thinking about doing it, but I haven't quite been able to get myself to do it yet. But I need to. I know I need to. Brooke says, really loving Sophia Falcone from Penguin. She is just so unhinged and crazy, and it's awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't remember the actress's name, but yeah, she's kicking fucking ass, bro. Brooke also says, people giving Marvel more of a pass now since Deadpool and Wolverine was a success as well. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's true in just about everything in life. Winning cures all ills. Like, say say your favorite team is just kicking ass and taking names, right? They have flaws. All teams have flaws. But if you're winning, those flaws tend to be overlooked. But if you're dropping L after L after L, those flaws come right to the forefront for everybody. And you're going to get shit on. And you're going to get called out. And it gets a whole lot of not fun. Rob says, Plaza and Han are riffing great too. Oh, yeah. Now, Catherine Hahn is... I enjoy her. I enjoy her acting. But she really, really loves to ride the line between... being into the role, I guess, or intense, and over-the-top corny. Like, she is right on that line a lot of the time. But I'm recognizing the talent that it's taking to stay right on that line. And I find that quite impressive, honestly. And then Aubrey Plaza's just good. Like, she can go from crazy right into that She's My Scar moment in this most recent episode. So, yeah, they're doing well. C-Dub says, and a lot of sexy side boob and booty. Yes, that is correct. Especially in this last episode. Oh my God, Hans and Plaza's outfits. Woo! They look good. They fucking hot. That is correct. Brooke says, David says, now you have my interest. Yeah? C-Dub says, anyone else pleasantly surprised at how sexual the outfits are on Agatha? I'm pretty sure Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza have a lot to do with that. I mean, it was Catherine's idea to do the booty scene in episode 2. That was her idea. She wanted that scene to represent exactly how stripped down that character was by Wanda. That was like her goal. I don't know that I was thinking about it that deeply, but she got a nice can. Yep. Yeah, we are getting a lot of side boob and booty. It's pretty good. Aubrey Plaza's been awesome. I agree, Brooke. Travis says, my only counter argument is maybe Beavis and Butthead, who are single-faceted, but to be fair, work best in unrelated short-form skills. I mean, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yes, you are correct. They are pretty one-dimensional. They are pretty one-dimensional characters. So, Brooke surprised by how sexual the outfits are in Agatha. I mean, going by what Marvel's done with their female characters to this point, yeah. And again, I think a lot of that is Han and Aubrey Plaza's work. And we all know Aubrey Plaza don't give a fuck. So, and evidently Han doesn't much either. C-Dub says, she tends to overact sometimes, but she also knows she's doing it on purpose. Exactly. Does anyone know? Like, I haven't researched this because, like, the idea pops in and out of my head. But some of what she does when it looks like she's overacting also reminds me of stage work. Does anyone know, or is anyone willing to check and see if Ms. Han has done a reasonable amount of stage work? Because you have to be all over movie like she gets for stage work. So I'm wondering, what's up, Justin? Yo, yo. How you doing, Bri? Yeah, if someone's willing to check that out for me, I would be most grateful. I would like to know if and or how much stage work Ms. Han has done. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Really? Griff says, all right, guys, back to work. I'll catch you guys in Discord. All right, well, thanks for stopping in, bro. Have a good night at work. Be safe. We'll see you next time. She was on SNL. Oh, okay. Yeah, that also kind of explains it. Star on SNL. Okay. You know, I stopped watching SNL a long fucking time ago. So, but yeah, that explains some of that too. For sheezy. Yes, Han has been on Broadway. Okay. Yeah, so between SNL and Broadway, that explains... Ow, God damn it, I just smacked my toe on my own chair. Motherfucker. Ow. Anyway. So, yeah. I imagine those are both two highly contributing factors to her acting style. But, like I said, she rides that line perfectly. And I would love her to ride mine as well. Just saying. She's a very good improv actor. Nice. Nice. So let's talk about the episode itself. What do we all think? What do we all think? Here's what I think. Let me know what you think in chat, but here's what I think. Overall, it was a good episode. I think it was probably the weakest of the four so far. That was not a very That was not a very intense trial, I don't think. I mean, they did get into some character shit, for sure. Like, that's undeniable. But, like, just in terms of stakes and stuff, I don't think it was quite as intense as the first trial. Obviously, I enjoyed the outfits immensely. The song itself was not bad. They probably could have gone a bit shorter with it, honestly. That demonic representation of the curse was very Raimi-like. Very Raimi-inspired. It had to be because it looked like something he would have put in Evil Dead. So, or, what is that? Something or other to hell. Bring me to hell? Send me to hell? Whatever that was. So, yeah, the trial part in the house was, I mean, outside of some of the character work and the outfits was just aight. Now, once they got out, that's when we got some real shit. Now, I think everyone in here knows who Aubrey Plaza's character really is. Drag me to hell. Thank you, David. So it was kind of interesting knowing who she is, seeing the clues they're dropping for people who stay out of spoilers and leaks and shit. Like, I can see the clues now that they drop. Like when they were trying to get the teen healed, that Agatha looked directly at Aubrey Plaza and was like, "Don't." In other words, don't fucking take his soul and let him die. And then when Aubrey was giving her story of her scar and talking about having to do something she really didn't want to do, which I am assuming that she ended up being the one that took Nicholas Scratch to Mephisto. That's what I think that is referring to as part of the deal that what's her butt Agatha made with him to get the Darkhold. I feel like Rio was the one that ended up escorting his son or her son, Agatha's son, to Mephisto. So, oh, of course, and then those two kind of getting their at least working themselves toward a bit of a physical reunion when Aubrey confirms that is not Nicholas Scratch, the teen. Right before we got a nice hot kiss between those two bastards. Could have kissed her, then told her. God damn it. But yeah, so I'm definitely more of a fan of the portion of the episode after the trial. But yeah, overall it's pretty decent. I'd give it 7 in terms of the whole episode. C-Dub says, I wasn't a fan of this episode. It was just too cheesy. I mean, yeah. Like I said, it is the weakest one to date for me, for sure. Not that it's bad, just not as good as the first 3. That's all. Travis says, in terms of actors who would feel like screen actors, Richard Crenna, Troutman from Rambo films, yep, always felt like he was stage acting in his scenes. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it. Yeah. C-Dub says it had strong CW vibes. Yeah. Excuse me. I can agree with that. Yeah, drag me to hell, thank you. Justin says, I am tired of hearing the Witch's Road song, but it could be worse. Yes, they could be chanting about the power of many. I'm really enjoying the show besides that song. Yeah, for sure. Like, I didn't even mind it, but it could have been literally at least a minute shorter. They dragged that fucking song out. Brooke says, overall, the episode was good. My favorite was probably the first episode. You know, I don't know if I could pick a favorite episode yet out of these 4. I know episode 4 ain't it, but yeah, I think I'd have to agree, Brooke. I think the first episode is probably my favorite one. Yeah. C-Dub says, I'm really hoping you don't have to find a new way to sing this song to get out of a bad situation each week, because that does feel a little bit like CW. I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure it was the song, they did the song specific to that one witch. I cannot remember her name, because of her mom. So I think the trials are going to change as they move on to the witches, as they move through the coven. If I had to guess, I would say they're probably going to do Patty LuPone next, the future telling witch, the oldest witch. C-Dub says, if we're really being honest, it was filler. I mean, it was watchable filler, but it was filler. I don't think it was filler, because it actually did move the characters forward and the story forward. Gave us some depth, especially when it came to Aubrey and Catherine's past relationship. They gave us more in that. So I wouldn't really call it filler per se. At least it's not entirely filler. I mean, definitely, like I said, the trial was weak as hell. That kind of felt like filler. But the hell is my fucking leg itch? So I would say it's partially filler, but I don't think it's entirely filler. That's just me, though. Travis says, I have a feeling we're getting an animated episode of Agatha at some point. Just a hunch. I don't think so. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be highly shocked either, but I really don't think so. Because, yeah, I like the Lady Death theories about Rio Vidal. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically confirmed by the Funko leak, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know if, I'm curious to know if I would have figured it out by the clues that I can see quite easily, because I already know. But, I probably wouldn't, so it's kind of cool. But like I said, knowing and being able to see the clues that they're laying out for those who aren't into the leak/scoops, as most of us are, I think that's also pretty cool. Justin says, it was a little feelerish until they got out. Then they kind of dropped a lot in that episode. Yeah, for sure. Like, well, number one, it's fun for me to watch Catherine Hahn take Agatha through, like, the entire emotional spectrum, like, in one scene. Like, the scene with her and the teen where she was watching over him till he woke up. Like, she was super caring and all that shit, and obviously super caring when he had the glass in his gut and stuff. So it's funny. It's like she's willing to show an emotional core in certain situations like that. But it's kind of fun to watch her show that and then immediately go right back to being a thunder cunt. Yeah, she is good. She's really, really good. And then Aubrey Plaza, going back to that campfire scene, talking about scars. When, when she told her little story, going from basically psycho shit in the trial, talking about killing the witches and taking the bodies and all that shit. But then for her to sit down and drop that pile of emotion telling that story and the way she delivered that shit, god damn, bro. Like, these actresses are killing it. And it's not just Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza. They're all doing well. But Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza are, I feel like, easily the strongest two out of the bunch. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any further thoughts on either the episode itself or the fact that it's... Oh, God, I already forgot the fucking continuation. Yes, or the fact that it has the best continuation rate out of every Marvel Disney Plus show. Any further thoughts on that? All right, 1 second here. It'll stop bugging me in a bit. What do you mean by continuation rate? Oh, that's right. You weren't here for that part. Okay, so the continuation rate refers to the percentage of people who continued watching the series after the premiere. So basically, they have the smallest percentage drop off from show to show of every Marvel Disney Plus show. So like every other Marvel Disney Plus show had bigger drop-offs throughout their runs than Agatha is having currently. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, something fucking bit me. What's up, Alan? Rob says, I really liked the corny trial and character development focus. It reminded me of why B&C comics were popular, and reminding viewers of the CW is exactly what most of us want to a degree. To a degree, yeah, I can agree with that. Yes, everyone say hi to Alan. How you doing, Alan? It's good to see you again, buddy. Good to see you again. All right. Do. Okay. Just chilling? Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. We good on Agatha? Are we ready to move on to our next tidbit for the evening? What say you, chat? Are we ready to move on? Good so far? Nice. Nice. Cats. Okay. Next up. According to the Insnider, that would be Jeff Snyder, Sam Raimi is finalizing a deal to return as the director of Doctor Strange 3. Take that grain of salt, but if true, then hell yeah, I agree. But yeah, this is according to Jeff Snyder, who is right up there in terms of accuracy with Alex Perez of the Cosmic Circus. They're the top two. Most accurate, most reliable out there. So, I, for one, as you all know, probably by now, am so down for this. I fucking love me some Raimi. I loved Multiverse of Madness. I'm happy about this news. Like, fucking bring him back. Bring him on back. Now, obviously, while it did make a shit ton of money, there are a fair chunk of people out there who are not fans of Raimi's sensibilities. And we're not fans of the way that movie was put together. They're silly asses, but they exist. So, I love Multiverse of Madness. I love Sam Raimi in general. I just like his work. Period. So, I am very much here for this. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Sam Raimi? More than likely, not guaranteed. This is still technically just a rumor, but it's from, like, when it comes to sources, 1 and 1A. Depending on the day. He and Alex Perez are 1 and 1A. So, I am very much down for this. This is fucking exciting. What do you guys think? Back to chat while you guys consider your thoughts and then type them in. Justin says, I mean, it's a good thing, but I wonder how it would have been if it had a bigger audience at the beginning. Yeah, that's the key thing right there, is the smaller your audience, the smaller your chances of having a large drop-off. Not impossible. But, yeah, a smaller audience decreases the percentages of drop-off overall, statistically. But also would love to see what the numbers would have been coming out before Acolyte. Oh, you mean if Agatha dropped before Acolyte dropped? Yeah. Those would have been interesting numbers to see for sure, bro. Good fucking call. That reminds me, I want to talk about that Justified Chillin' thing again that we talked about a little bit. Actually, check that. Need to hold. I need to get. I need a few more things to study out, but yeah, get back to that at some point. Oh, and just real quick, before I forget, and while there are more of you here than there were much earlier, next Saturday there will be no stream. I will be attending a wedding. Out of town. Not out of state, but out of town. I'm going to be well over an hour away from here. And of course, you know, Saturday, so late afternoon, ceremony, reception, dinner, blah, 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 blah. And then an hour plus drive back. So, unfortunately, I will not be here to stream because I will be out partying at a wedding reception. Not so much partying during the ceremony. That'll be more along the lines of smiling and clapping. So, I'm going to do my damnedest to be able to participate in some fashion next Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday or whatever, however you want to look at it, because of that. Whether I can do my own watch party or at least can hop into Justin's after the episode like he lets me do. So, have fun. Oh, I plan to, dude. I fucking love wedding receptions, unless the music sucks or the food sucks. But yeah, for the most part, I love me some wedding receptions. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I heard the words open bar used. So, that's always fun. That'll probably lead to me white boy dancing until my knees hurt. Or actually, I probably won't feel them Saturday night. But come next Sunday, I'll probably regret a lot of the shit I did while I was drinking because I'm old. And I'll probably regret the drinking because I'm old. So, But yeah, so I will definitely try and make some kind of appearance somehow on Wednesday for the first time in 3 weeks. Sorry about that, too. So, show notes while I thought of them, and while there's more people here to hear the news, I'll put out a reminder on Discord next week as well. But yeah, so no stream next Saturday night. I shall be out of town, partying down at a wedding reception. Yeah. So, does anyone else wish to share their thoughts on Mr. Raimi before we move on to the next thing? So cute. Goddamn Daphne Keene. Oh, yes. Here's another little tidbit. Marvel Studios reportedly has a Silver Surfer project in the works. Matt Shakman, the man currently responsible for running the Fantastic Four First Steps movie, is producing the project. This is according to Daniel Richtman. What do we think of that? A Silver Surfer project. Now, that's all it says is project. It doesn't say if it's going to be a show or if it's going to be a movie. I'm inclined to think show. Honestly, I don't think they'll make a movie for the Silver Surfer. They could. But honestly, I feel like that's going to be a show. And I don't see any way it's going to come out before Secret Wars. So I'm guessing that it's going to be about our actual 616 Norrin Rad that we'll have after Secret Wars in the soft reboot. And I like the fact that Shakman's on it because he's already going to be, because he's currently immersed in the world of Fantastic Four, and we'll have all kinds of experience in the world of Fantastic Four by the time he's done filming this movie. So yeah, I feel choosing him to do this Silver Surfer project is quite appropriate, as he will, like I said, have been wallowing in the world of the Fantastic Four. And, of course, dealing with Galactus himself. So I am, again, this is according to Daniel RPK, so technically rumor. But yeah, if this is a thing, I'm stoked about it. How about you guys? Oh, Brooks hype. Just saw a tweet on Silver Surfer. Yeah? What do you guys think? You guys down for a Norrin Rad project? Possibly an origin story? Who knows? Or, could be just, maybe it's not his origin story. We may not see him become the Surfer, but what if it's set like early on in his career as the Surfer? Maybe it's just one, like his job, as we know, is to go out and find planets for Galactus to eat. So what if this project is about him hunting for a planet, coming across one that at first looks uninhabited, so he goes and gets Galactus, but while Galactus is on the way, it turns out that there are inhabitants on the planet. And then the Surfer decides to start having a moral quandary about it. And then, and then the project goes on from there. I think that would be cool. I think that'd be a cool way to handle it for sure. So, yeah. Alan says, could be a special presentation. Getting hyped for it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another way they could do it. I forgot. They do those too. Yeah. Like if it's not a full movie or like a show, they could do a special presentation. Honestly, though, that would be like literally the shortest amount of time they could spend with him. So I hope it's not. I would prefer a movie or a show. A special presentation just be like 45 minutes to an hour. Done. there are plenty of characters out there in Marvel to where a special presentation would be more than sufficient to introduce them. But I think Silver Surfer is of a sufficient tier to rate a show or a movie. Yeah. Brooks says Silver Surfer was kind of cool in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Just the stuff on Galactus in that film was meh. Yeah. Personally, I think meh is being too kind. They made Galactus a cloud. So, yeah, I'm not big on that shit. Travis says, it'd be neat if we get a scene where Strange finds Wong in another universe. Someone smashes the roof saying Thanos is coming, only it's the Surfer, and in this world, it's like the comic. Honestly, that's kind of fun, but I am... And this is just because of, like, you know, the way the comics go and whatnot, but here's my basic thoughts on what Doctor Strange 3 will be. I think Doctor Strange 3 will be titled Time Runs Out. I think Doctor Strange 3 is going to go over Strange's travels through the multiverse, trying to figure out what's going on. And I think Clea, remember when she came and got him at the end of Multiverse of Madness? I think Clea is going to turn out to be a Black Swan, which is, as you recall, one of the minions of Raboom Alal in Time Runs Out, who, at the end of Time Runs Out, we find out actually is one Dr. Victor Von Doom. So, I think Clea is going to end up being a Black Swan, working for Doom, but as she knows Raboom Alal, as she knows him. So I think... Here's what I think happens. As we remember, she came and got him at the end of MOM. I think what's going to happen is she's going to take him to the incursion that she says they have to fix. And since she's a Black Swan, or we'll find out later on in the movie, but since I think it's going to turn out that she's a Black Swan, what Strange is going to find out from her is that the only way to stop an incursion is to destroy a world. So I think what's going to happen is she's going to take him to the incursion site, explain things to him, and then they're together going to destroy that world. Now, it would be cool if they involved the Black Priest in that, the group that Strange was leading in the comics. But if he's already together with Clea and she's a Black Swan, that kind of renders them moot. I mean, he could summon them in. They could separate. Like, she could show him what happens, and he freaks the fuck out. And then she could dip, and then he could go form the Black Priests and start taking them through the multiverse, doing shit. And then he could hear about Raboom Alal. Then he could run into Clea again on his way to the Library of Worlds. The Black Priests get wiped out, like in the comics. And then that movie ends with Strange coming face to face with Doom, who takes his mask off and reveals himself to be RDJ Doom, and end movie. So I think Doctor Strange 3 could very well lead right into Doomsday, just like Ragnarok led right into Infinity War. That's kind of how I think they'll do it. Obviously, no clue. 100% speculation. But they've already basically told us that Hickman's run is going to be a massive influence on these movies. So that's kind of how I see Doctor Strange 3 going. Overall, in a general way. So that's what I think that's going to be. What do y'all think? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that's how they should do it? What are your ideas? What do you think that's going to do? Let me know, and I'll catch up with the chats that already exist. Travis says, I said it before, And he's too old now, probably. But Keegan Michael Key has the perfect figure and look for Norrin Rad. It won't happen, though. I mean, I think at this point, we've got fucking Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen coming back for Secret Wars. Yeah, I think age is much less of a thing now than it used to be. With all the technology available and stuff. I don't think it'd be an issue. And it's not like Keegan Michael Key's age would show because he'd be covered in CGI silver. You know? So. Yeah, there's a few reasons age really doesn't matter, especially with that role. Brooks says if Doctor Strange 3 led into Doomsday, that would be ideal. Imagine the reaction when we see RDJ Doom on screen for the first time. Well, we'll be seeing that post-credit scene for Fantastic Four next July. Doctor Strange 3, time runs out. If that's how they're going with it, would be the one to come out in that February 2027 time slot right before Secret War. Or no, the February 2026 time slot right before Doomsday. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to see him for the first... Well, okay, we're going to see Doom. We're going to see Doctor Doom on screen. I don't know if we'll actually see RDJ's face in Fantastic Four or not. They may save that. I mean, we already know who it is, so they probably won't. But I think it'd be interesting if they decided to keep his mask on until he revealed himself to Strange, if that's how they do it. Travis says, Doom ripping out Strange's third eye, trapping him in the multiverse would be an insane ending. It would, but if they're following the comics, they're going to team up and go after the Beyonders. The big question is are they going to bother to introduce the Molecule Man, or are they going to use an already existing character to fulfill his role? Because he's essential. Because of how the way the Beyonders created him, basically to be a bomb in every universe in the multiverse, he's got a fuck ton of power. So, and he was key to destroying the Beyonders, and he was basically God Emperor Doom's power battery on Battleworld. Because at the end, at least in the end of Secret Wars in the comics, after Dr. Doom and Reed Richards engage in fisticuffs, and Doom finally admits that Reed would have done a better job at recreating things than he did, the Molecule Man instantly rips all of Doom's power away from him and gives it all to Reed. So, and at that point, Reed teams up with Franklin and recreates the multiverse, blah, 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 blah. So, and fixes Doom's face. What a nice guy. So yeah, I'm wondering who's going to fulfill the Molecule Man role. That's going to be interesting to see, I think. Damn, where'd everybody go? All right. What's next? Oh, you're last. Hello, Sydney. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. All right. There are a couple more things I want to talk about. Got some more Spider-Man talk. And then, of course, the Captain America Brave New World leaks. Brooks says, briefly reading a bit about Time Runs Out on the Marvel Wiki. The stuff about Doom and Strange confronting the Beyonders is insane. Oh, yeah, definitely. Brooke Chen says, so hyped for Venom 3. I'm definitely looking forward to it a lot more now. Oh, by the way, what do y'all think about the fact that Andy Serkis is playing Null? Just real quick. Now that you mentioned that, Brooke, I'd forgotten about that little tidbit. But yeah, how do y'all feel about the mocap OG? That multifaceted actor, Andy Serkis, playing Null. Travis says, I feel like Wanda could replace Molecule Man. Yeah, I'd say she's the leading candidate. She's the only one with a similar enough power set that already exists in the MCU. Yeah, obviously they're going to bring her back somehow or other. They'd have to, but yeah. I'm inclined to agree. Brooke says, Andy Serkis' voice could be super terrifying for Null. Oh, yeah. I mean, setting aside how badly they fucked up the character, he sounded awesome as Snoke. Like, sounded awesome. So, yeah, hearing a voice kind of like that coming out of Null's face, ooh, yeah. To quote Christian Bale, yeah, I'm totally here for that. I think that's fucking dope. I think that's fucking dope. I mean, it's not like he's new to the MCU, or Marvel, I should say. Because technically Venom 3 is the SSU, Sony Spider Universe. Is that what that stands for? I don't know. Anyway, Sonyverse. He directed Let There Be Carnage, actually, so he's already been in the Venom world, too. He was Claw in Age of Ultron and Black Panther. Done all that mocap for Gollum. So, yeah, I'm hyped for Andy Serkis being Null. What do you guys think? Any more thoughts on that? All right. Travis Mitchell, Snoke's line, "You're just a child in a mask," coming out of Null's mouth, only he's holding Peter Parker by the neck, would be fitting. You know what? Yeah. That actually would be pretty fitting. I don't know that they would do that, but that actually would be kind of cool. That would actually be kind of cool. Okay. 2 more topics to go over. Brooke says the coolest part about Null is his sword. He used that sword to kill a Celestial, I believe. Crazy. You are correct. He did use that sword. That sword is the famous all black, the Necrosword. The same sword that Gore the God Butcher, used to, well, butcher gods. But yes, when Null created that sword and took that sword and beheaded a Celestial. Sword is the first symbiote too. Yes. Yeah, but he took the all black the Necrosword and chopped a Celestial's head off with it. And that Celestial head is what is now known as Nowhere. Former home of the Collector and now home to, I don't know, all those people that are still fucking on it. Being guarded by former members of the Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's how that all ties together. Nowhere is the Celestial head that Null cut off with all black the Necrosword. Yep. All right. So, we have 2 more topics to go over. But, okay, I'm going to answer Travis's chat, and then I'm going to go get a drinky and take a pee-pee, because I've been at this for over 2 hours now, and it is time for my old man bladder to kick in. But first, Travis says, what is my favorite fictional sword from movies, shows, or games? Well, for counting all kinds of swords rather than just the metal ones, the lightsaber is my favorite fictional sword. Now, if we're talking just regular ass blades, my absolute favorite fictional sword is the katana from Highlander, used by Connor McLeod and then later on Duncan McLeod. Blade of Olympus from God of War, yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite fictional sword. Closely followed by... Oh shit, I had it. Now I lost it. God damn it. Closely followed by... closely followed by the bastard sword that he started off using before he got gifted the katana from Ramirez. So, yeah. Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII always looked cool to me. See, I've never been a humongous fan of those like way oversized swords. You know. But that's just me though. All right. But yeah. Fictional sword. There you go. Now, if you're talking blades in general, it's Wolverine's claws. So, all right. I'm going to go drain the main vein, find some more beverage, and then we will get into these last two topics. I shall return shortly. Please don't leave. Good call, Travis. Also blade sword. It's another katana, but yes. Can you tell I love katanas? Hi, Matthew. Sorry about that. Alrighty. 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 Alright, alright, alright. Matthew, welcome in, bro. Matthew Gaudette says, I really liked Deadpool. Didn't think I would, but it was a love letter to Marvel and surprisingly heartfelt. Wolverine was cool. Hugh was perfect. And man, Ryan Reynolds was great. Over the top, yeah, but freaking fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it was more specifically a love letter to Fox Marvel, but yeah, for sure. It was definitely a fun movie. I mean, definitely not like a cinema, but still awesomely fun nonetheless. Travis says Deadpool is basically R-rated Shrek. Hmm. Interesting. I guess I'll say kinda. Travis also says, I posted a Highlander 2 quote on the wall of my work. Highlander 2 quote? Like the one movie where like they had those goofy ass aliens from Zeist. That complete retcon of the Immortals. That Highlander 2? Which quote? Not that I probably recognize it because I've been trying to forget that movie since I watched it. What up, Prez? How you doing, bruh? But yeah, which quote, Travis? We'll see if I recognize it. Brooks says, Deadpool and Wolverine has made over $1.327 billion at the box office right now, which is pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Like, I don't know that there will ever be another R-rated movie that will do that. Unless they do a Deadpool and Wolverine 4. Travis says, R-rated Shrek and the message of liking someone, even if they aren't always going to be attractive on the outside. Okay, yeah. All right, I got you. Then he says, I've only seen the U.S. cut of part 1 in the TV series. I prefer to just leave it as one movie. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. There can be only one? Yeah, that's just like the classic Highlander quote. Period. Let's see. Kurgan, there can be only one. Connor at the end of the first Highlander movie. There can be only one. Yeah. All right, folks. Time to move on to the first of our last two topics. And this one's a fun one. According to Cryptic 4K Quality, who is semi-reliable, well, Cryptic HD Quality, who is reasonably reliable, not great, but not shitty. Excuse me. According to them, Tom Holland's upcoming Spider-Man film might be titled Spider-Man King in Black. Really? What's up, Brady? Travis says, his quote, most people have a full measure of life, and most people just watch it slowly drip away. But if you can summon it all up at one time, in one place, you can accomplish something glorious. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. How you doing, Brady? What's crapping? God damn it. I gotta mute the mic for a second. Hold on. Sorry, I had to make gross snot noises. No one wanted to hear that. Matthew says, and yes, I'm a big fan of Queen, and I used to listen to Princes of the Universe and the Flash Gordon theme on repeat. Ooh, I can't recall the Flash Gordon theme. But yeah, Princes of the Universe is dope. Have you listened to that whole album, It's a Kind of Magic, which is basically the Highlander soundtrack plus a couple more songs? It's dope. You should do it. If you haven't. All right, so, anyway. What was I saying? Shut up, chat. That's what I was saying. No, don't shut up. Type away. But I'm going to stick with the story for just a bit. And then I'll catch back up with you. Aight? So, again, according to Cryptic HD Quality. Wade Sales. Oh, you dingbat. Tom Holland's upcoming Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 4, might be titled Spider-Man King in Black. Now, there have already been rumors that Tom Hardy's Venom at the end of Venom 3 is going to somehow end up in the 616 and going to meet up with Spider-Man. They'll probably fight. And then supposedly Null is going to come on in. And those two are going to have to team up to fight Null. Because as we already know from Venom 3, Null is out there. Null's been looking for Venom. And evidently he has plans to stop by in Spider-Man 4. Which is cool. Now, I'm going to give you guys a quick TLDR on the King in Black story. It is basically this. At some point, the symbiotes had rebelled against Null and trapped him on the inside of a planet made of symbiotes that they called Clintar, which in their language means cage. And so, he went torpid and checked out for a while. Eventually, I can't remember what it was, but something got his attention. He woke back up, found a way to break out of Clintar, retook control of the hive mind, and decided to come on down to Earth for whatever. I cannot remember why he was so angry at us, but he decided an invasion of Earth was necessary. Invaded Earth, surrounded the planet, sent a bunch of symbiote dragon-looking critters down, surrounded the Earth in basically a symbiote Dyson sphere, came in, kicked the fuck out of literally everybody, Avengers, mutants, blah, 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 until finally Eddie Brock Venom ended up merging with the Enigma Force, one of the most ancient and most powerful cosmic forces. Also had some fancy kind of sword and killed Null. And himself became the King in Black at the end of that. Okay? So that's the basic TLDR in the King in Black story. But notice how it ends in Null's death. Keep that in mind. There are other reports out there stating that Sony has plans to use Null in multiple features over time. So, how are they going to do that and yet do King in Black for Spider-Man 4 and keep it, and if they keep in keeping it comic accurate, fucking kill Null? How does that add up? How does that work? Well, I'll tell you. It ain't. It ain't gonna fucking work. But I have a theory on how this is actually going to end up working. You ready? So, I think this report about the Spider-Man film possibly being titled King in Black is nothing more than an oopsie in the details, a misunderstanding in what Sony's plans are. I firmly believe that Sony is planning to do King in Black, especially because of the report that they want to use Null in multiple features. So I think that whoever Cryptic's source is just did a little mix-up. They somehow conflated King in Black with Spider-Man 4. Okay? So I think that's an oopsie. I don't think it's that they're not doing King in Black at all. I just don't think they're doing it in Spider-Man 4. I think it's an oopsie. I think what they're going to do, I think they're still going to have Null in Spider-Man 4. But I think what's going to happen is that's going to end up being a Battle World movie. Now, how will that work, you ask? Well, why would Null be battling Spider-Man and Venom in a Battle World movie? Well, here's why. It will be established again in Venom 3 that Null is after Venom for a purpose of some kind. We don't know that. What yet? But, right now, Null is after Venom for hashtag reasons. So he still has reason to pop in. Now, the way this would work if it's a post Doomsday Battle World type movie is Null is a primordial being. He's been around. He is of the darkness that you get between iterations of the universe or cosmos. If I recall correctly, Marvel is currently on its 8th iteration of the universe. Null's been around since, I believe, between the 5th and 6th iterations of the universe. So he is a primordial being of darkness. He can move through the multiverse on his own by way of dark portals. So he doesn't need help to travel the multiverse. He can do that all on his own. So that ability is what allows him to show up on either if everyone's on Battle World, allows him to show up there and go after Spider-Man and Venom, or if they're doing it as a Battle World universe that just takes place on different worlds. He can travel the multiverse and pop through onto whatever world those two are on after Doomsday. And, then proceed to do whatever. And, obviously, Null's going to have to be defeated. But, unlike the way Marvel's been handling things lately, and as we know from comics, it is entirely possible to defeat an enemy without destroying said enemy. Right? So I think he's going to lose, but not die in Spider-Man 4. And then I think after the reboot, because we also know that no matter what Feige wants to do to condense everything all under one roof, Sony is bound and fucking determined to do their Spider-Verse shit. Right? So here's what I think. Null, Spider-Man, and Venom will fight in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 will not be called King in Black because after the reboot, Sony, because again, reports have said they want to use Null in multiple projects. So Sony is going to start, after the reboot, Sony's going to start setting up Null as their first Thanos. So they're probably going to do a couple more Spider-Man movies with Feige's help, hopefully, that will lead up into an actual, the actual King in Black event. The same way Infinity War was built up in the MCU. I think Sony wants to build up to King in Black. So I think they're definitely doing King in Black. I just think Spider-Man 4 being King in Black is just a boo-boo, like a mistaken conflation of those two things. The fact that Sony wants to do King in Black and Spider-Man 4. I think that's just an inadvertent combining of things that really are separate. But again, I'm pretty sure they'll do Null in Spider-Man 4. But I don't think it's going to be King in Black because Null dies at the end of King in Black. And Sony wants to use Null in multiple projects. So Null will lose. They'll push him back somehow or other. But he will not be dead. He will be back in the SSU. And I think Sony wants to set up Null as their Thanos, basically. And then do the actual King in Black. That's what I think is going on. What do y'all think about that? What do you think? You think I'm onto something? Or do you think they're actually going to do King in Black and Spider-Man 4? Travis Mitchell says a great quote from Ramirez before he uses his sword to stop a ceiling fan. Jesus Christ. Travis says, I can't see that being the title, as it would be hard to make a title motif off it like Home in the last trilogy. It seems like too inside baseball of a title. Well, no, Venom is, Null is actually pretty fucking popular. King in Black storyline was big. Or event, I should say, was big. Matthew says, I liked the Back in Black comic, hated the One More Day. I literally have decades of books to catch up on because I was so disgusted over One More Day, I quit Spider-Man, but I liked the movies. Yeah, I heard One More Day was not well received. Matthew says, I also haven't read any X books since New X-Men and Astonishing X-Men. I have a lot of homework to do. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Brooke says, Null is like the embodiment of darkness and nothingness. Yep. Null, Travis says, Null comes to Earth to reclaim the symbiote codex of every individual who came in contact with one, including Peter, Eddie, so on. In the book, he also wants Eddie Sundellan. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the symbiote codex. Matthew says, Hobgoblin, they set him up to not use him. Ned won't turn evil. I have no idea what the fuck they're going to do with Ned. No clue. They could still turn him into Hobgoblin if they wanted. I just don't know that they're going to do it anytime soon. They could do that in Spider-Man 4, but I don't really see it happening. I feel like that. I feel like a lot of these things are going to be really turned up after Secret Wars. Like, I think that's probably something Sony and Marvel worked out in their new deal. Which, by the way, if you haven't heard, is going to seal up Tom Holland for Spider-Man's 5 and 6, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and one other untitled feature. So, regardless of Tom Holland's wish not to be playing Spider-Man until he's almost 40, he playing Spider-Man until he's almost 40. Yep. Travis says, in Across the Spider-Verse, the symbiote is one of the canon events. I could see him appearing in animation, despite the next film probably not being until 2027. You talking the Venom symbiote? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we're getting him in 26 in Spider-Man 4. Matthew says they should do Sinister Six, just not the Orsi and Kurtzman version. I feel like that's probably, well, they already kind of tried starting to set that up with what do you call it, Morbius, and that stupid ass post-credit scene with him and Vulture. So, now I don't know if they're going to continue with that, but yeah, they've technically, they've already started to set that shit up. Brooks says Null should be developed as a longer-term villain. Oh, definitely. Spider-Man 4 could set the stages for King in Black. Yes. For sure. Rob says, Sony doesn't seem focused enough to evolve the Spider-Verse to that level. I think they're going to pop their wad. Well, see, here's the thing. They've got that long-term deal they signed with Marvel, and part of that is Feige basically having, for the most part, control over Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So I think if Sony's ambitious enough to do what I think they're going to be doing, I'm pretty sure, obviously Spider-Man is going to be quite involved, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have Feige's help on that. To a certain extent. And that'll only be a good thing. Travis says, at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, Spot becomes a mass of dark matter, and I could see him encountering Null, who's kind of similar in living in darkness. Yeah, that's true. Very interesting. Rob says, now, if they don't screw it up, Holland will get the Jackman treatment. Till he's 90! Yeah, for sure. Travis says, Daredevil's Drew Goddard wrote and was supposed to direct that original Sinister Six movie, which, according to the emails, had Giant Sandman fighting a monster in London. I wonder if that monster is one of Null's dragons. Or dragon symbiotes. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah. So that's what I think. I don't think Spider-Man 4 is going to be King in Black, but I think Sony's going to do King in Black, but as a multiple movie event like Infinity War saga. They're going to do their own little Null saga, I think. Or King in Black saga, I should say. That's what I think they're going to do. All right. Are you guys ready? Hold on. Where is that it? Yes. Okay. You guys ready for these Cap 4 leaks? Because I am ready to get into them. Now, these leaks, well, this is basically a fucking summary of the movie, is what we're going to have, this leak that we're about to go over. So it is super fucking spoilery, like insanely spoilery, about as spoilery as you can get without actually bootlegging what they have on film. So, if you do not want Cap 4 basically entirely spoiled for you, thank you for watching, live or on the replay. Smash the like and subscribe and the notification bell, and get the fuck out if you do not want this shit spoiled for you. If you do not mind, then please stay, and we'll go over this shit and talk about it. So, I'll give anyone who does not wish to have the shit spoiled out of this movie for them a couple minutes to get on down. Why am I sore there? Why does that hurt? Probably just fucking age. Anyway. So. I'll read any new chats while anyone who does not want to be spoiled gets the hell on out of here, with my gratitude for hanging out to this point, of course. Thank you. Matthew says, yeah, they set it also up, or at least shot it in Amazing Spider-Man 2, then they rebooted when they fired Andrew. Not sure I wanted a 3 with Gwen coming back to life. Sounds convoluted. That would have been weird. It would have been goofy. Okay. Time's up. It's spoilering. To paraphrase a line from The Thing, it's spoilerin' time. You're 49, which I will be in 8 days. Today's the 5th. Yes, I will be 49 in 8 days. But then a short 5 months after that, you're going to turn 50, bitch. There was also supposed to be a Black Cat movie, says Matthew. I mean, there still could be. Sydney Sweeney. Yeah. Anyway. Cap 4. Captain America Brave New World. Now, according to this, the movie was shown recently, unfinished VFX for a test audience. Here is a plot breakdown review of the movie. Now, it has also come out, and I can't remember where I saw it, but evidently there are 2 versions out there being screened like this. This is just one of 2 versions. So, who knows the actual percentage of accuracy this is going to contain. According to the person who posted this, they've already, or a different person I've seen, they've already done, there's already stuff in the, yes, I know, Blink 182. There's already stuff that's been contradicted by the most recent trailers. Now, what that is, I can't think of off the top of my head going through this, but this is a screening version that people saw of this movie with unfinished VFX. Are you ready? The movie opens with Sam on a mission going after the Serpent Society. They were supposed to lead Sam and Joaquin, the new Falcon, to the buyer of the package, which is supposed to be adamantium. Giancarlo Esposito, as Sidewinder, has some nuns hostage and spouts very generic villain dialogue: secure the package, take no prisoners, etc. Sam fights Serpent Society dude with golden fang knives. The guy has super soldier strength, but Sam beats him before more soldiers arrive. I'm guessing that's probably that fucking wrestler's character. What's his damn name? Sidewinder gets away. Of course he does. Sam takes Joaquin to be trained by Isaiah Bradley, followed by a training montage with Sam and Joaquin and Isaiah throwing around punching bags. Sam is invited to the White House. He decides to bring Isaiah and Joaquin, and they party in a limo on the way to the White House. They take a picture with President Harrison Ford. Harrison tells Isaiah, "I got to do the trick and pony show, but stick around, I want to get to know you better." Ross and Sam meet up, and he tells him, "I need you to lead the Avengers." Sam goes, "What if we don't see eye to eye?" Ross replies, "Then we'll figure that out together." Ross is almost assassinated by Isaiah Bradley, as well as other mind-controlled soldiers and security guards in the room. Sam chases Isaiah out into the streets, where Isaiah comes to and doesn't know where he is. He is arrested. Sam and Joaquin look at security footage inside the White House and see that Isaiah looks down at his phone and is hypnotized by flashing lights. They later see that the other soldiers and security guards in the room also got the same flashes on their phone lights. Sam and Joaquin decide to get to who is behind all this and come across Tim Blake Nelson as the leader with a weird molded-on brain-shaped rubber cap and slightly green skin. Well, that's because that's what the new leader is supposed to fucking look like. Approximately. The leader has been visited by Ross many times because Ross was dying and turned to the leader to help him, which in turn causes him to Hulk out if his blood pressure raises. Ross has to eat lollipops as a form of medication, I think. That would be dumb. Ruth Sabra starts to take Isaiah Bradley into containment after another mind-controlled attempted assassination in a prison. He goes, "I will not be locked up in a box again." Ruth also decides to track down breadcrumbs leading to Stearns, the leader, where she comes across and very briefly teams up with Sam and Joaquin. They go to Stark Technologies, where they meet Amadeus Cho, who is the smartest engineer there. Interesting. I don't know where they found this actor, but he is not good at all. Sam says something about Pepper, but we never see her. Now, see, that's fun, because there's actually an announcement about Amadeus Cho being cast. President Ross is bunkered down away from danger and is trying to get the world leaders to agree on a peace treaty, and is having trouble with Japan getting on board after Japan thinks America robbed it of its adamantium, or something along those lines. This leads to Torres and Wilson meeting up with Ross as American battleships and Japanese battleships fight with each other in a big set piece near the hand of Tiamat in the Indian Ocean. Big CGI-filled action scene that ends with Torres falling out of the air into the water, but then rescued by a medic. As Torres is in the hospital recovering, Bucky swings by to check on Sam, makes a speech, jokes about how it was written, then says he has a fundraiser to get to, and nopes the fuck out of the movie. What? That's... Okay, well, we already know that that is not the end of Bucky in the movie from the most recent trailer, so we shall see. Ross finds out he's being set up by Stearns to make Japan and the other world leaders not want to work with him because of reasons. Something to do with Serpent Society stealing adamantium or something. I don't know. It wasn't very clear. Okay. But Ross goes to a press conference at the White House where all of a sudden the leader's vaguely portrayed mind control sounds start playing through the speaker, eventually causing Harrison to Hulk out. Sam meets the leader, who admits his evil plan and thinks Sam will die because he's not Steve Rogers. Sam says, "I love to prove people wrong." Sam shows up to the scene with Rulk, and the two tear up the White House. Very January 6th evoking imagery at times. They eventually start hashing it out, and the fight culminates with Sam stabbing one of his wings into Ross' side, which causes him to transform back to Harrison, but he's all scratched up. Doesn't have the invulnerability that Hulk has. And I think that might be comic accurate. Someone check me on that one. Ross is locked up in the raft, is told by Sam, "How does it feel to be locked up?" Ross is like, "Well, at least I'm safe," and they made a point to have Sam literally say to the president, "Thank you for taking accountability for your own actions and turning yourself in voluntarily," where Ross is then met by his daughter Betty, and oh boy, does Liv Tyler look Botoxed up to high hell. Well, that's bad news. Sam visits Torres in the hospital. They joke about Torres being from Miami and visiting Wakanda to get new wings. Mid-credit scene. Oh wow, that's the end of the movie. Mid-credit scene. Sam visits the leader in the raft, mentions something about giving Hulk juice to Amadeus Cho, and Stearns goes, "Something big and bad is coming," and Sam is like, "I'll be ready." That's it. No one else shows up. I don't know if it's referring to Doctor Doom or incursions or what. The leader is supposed to be all-knowing, but they did a weak job of portraying that. No payoff for Isaiah's story. No payoff for the supposed Avengers team that Sam was supposed to form. Not enough scenes between Sam and Joaquin to establish that relationship and make us feel any kind of attachment towards them. The leader's goals were vague and his methods of doing what he was doing even vaguer. It played across like CW version of DC's Brainiac, only worse somehow. Wow. Actress who played Ruth didn't bring anything to that character. Felt like she was only in the movie because they needed a Black Widow type of character, but ultimately, she added nothing. Mackie and Harrison are good, but Harrison hulking out was unintentionally hilarious. Definitely the highlight of the entire movie. Sam, with only vibranium cap, shield, and wings, withholds multiple, I think he probably means withstands, multiple heavy hits from Red Hulk that would absolutely destroy his body, considering his suit was not vibranium, and Sam still ain't got no super soldier serum. He would be a broken bloody pulp after Rulk full force punches him multiple times, and not even a cracked rib on Sam's part. Yeah. Serpent Society was pretty much non-existent in this movie. Maybe a total of 5 to 7 minutes of the film was devoted to them. Them being big, strong dude with golden fang knives and Sidewinder, no other members shown. Sadly, Giancarlo Esposito is offered very little to do. He had more to do in Megalopolis, which is saying something. Well, I haven't seen that. Overall, halfway decent movie. Not bad, not good. Entertaining for the most part, but feels like it is just repeating plot points from both the Winter Soldier and Civil War, making the entire story feel way too safe, predictable, and by the numbers. Whole thing plays out and feels very much like something that belongs on Disney+, Harrison Ford being the one aspect that makes it belong in cinemas, and some of the action is pretty good. Awkward pacing that could be cleaned up by the time the final version comes out, but the story feels a bit too derivative of other Cap movies. Zemo framing Bucky is like Stearns framing Isaiah. Sam and Joaquin on the run in a truck driving an underground bunker like Nat and Steve in The Winter Soldier. Air battle at Tiamat similar to Climax in The Winter Soldier. Rulk Cap fight was teased the entire movie only for it to last about 5 minutes. Only cameos were Betty, Bucky, Amadeus Cho. Except, oh wait, you know what? Never mind. I'm thinking Bucky from Thunderbolts when I said that earlier. Okay. I was confusing shit. Betty, Bucky, Amadeus Cho. Movie never really showed us why Sam is Captain America or why he should continue to lead the Avengers. Excuse me. Well. Well. So, again, that's not going to be entirely accurate to the final cut. We already know that some things in the trailers contradict this. And again, this is only one version of 2 that was screened. The other version is different from this one. And so we don't know which one is going to end up being the final cut, or if it's going to be some kind of combination, maybe. Who knows? But so again, this is a ton of information, but we don't know exactly how much of it is going to be accurate come February. But what do you think? Let me catch up on chat real quick. Rob says, I would be down for a solo Black Cat tied into Holland's movie so she gets the proper treatment. Yeah. Matthew says, please be good. Harrison deserves a win after Dial of Destiny. Matthew also says, they are doing Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a decent trope. It hasn't been overdone. But it definitely is easy to fuck up. So we'll see on that one. Travis says, the beginning of Cap 4 is sounding a bit like a John Carpenter movie. Travis says, if any of this is true, it lends to my fears that the trailer of the movie doesn't look cinematic to me. It looks like an episode of The Blacklist with some CG fights. Hope I'm wrong. I mean, I like The Blacklist, though. I still have to watch the last 2 seasons. I finally started season 9. I went ahead and peeked at how the show ends, and on paper, it looks like I might not like that so much. But on the other hand, I have to see how it goes. That's a quick aside. Matthew says, sounds like Ultron might return. I'm not sure a fan of that. I prefer the idea of Doctor Doom. Oh, we're definitely getting Doctor Doom. If we do get Ultron, it won't be till Secret Wars, and he'll lose again anyway. Rob says, they need to make Cap 4 less lame than that. Yeah, they do. Muting the mic. Hold on. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a fucking average-ass movie to me. Like, if they underutilized Giancarlo like the homie is alluding to, bullshit. Like, I've never really been interested in the Torres Falcon character. Like, I don't fucking care. Yeah, I'm hoping the fucking fight is longer between Sam and the Hulk. The Red Hulk. Rulk. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping yeah, I'm hoping improvements are made between this version and February. Also, I'm quite curious to know what the differences are between this version and the other one that was screened. I'm very interested to see if the other one was any closer to what we saw in the trailers, you know? So, but yeah, the Serpent Society stuff sounds meh. Like, completely. It is a massive bummer that apparently Liv Tyler is Botox to all hell, because she's been beautiful for decades. But yeah, definitely not super exciting. It does not sound super exciting. Based off of this, I actually think Thunderbolts looks better. Based off that, and based off what I've seen in the Thunderbolts trailer, I think Thunderbolts looks better, seems better at this point. Rob says they need to give Isaiah real closure. Make this movie mean something. It's Cap 4. Make it special. Less of the MCUing of everything. I mean, yeah, I agree. Isaiah needs real closure, or giving us some sign that he's going to be back in some sort of hero-y, minor hero-y assistance role. Travis says, not every movie needs big stars, but Cap 4 sounds like a streaming movie where they added A-list talent at the last second to make it cinematic. Not the case, but it just looks like a show. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't think you're like wrong per se. I think you're probably onto something. Matthew says, sounds like they want Winter Soldier, but also they won't nail it. I hope it comes close. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's been mentioned. Some people have mentioned it being, allegedly being like Winter Soldier. Personally, I would not make, like if I'm promoting a movie, especially a movie in a series like, you know, Captain America 4, the last thing I'm doing is trying to compare it to the best movie in that series, i.e. Winter Soldier, which is also happens to be, at least for me, the best MCU movie ever put out. You don't want to be drawing comparisons to that level of movie at all. Like, that was a fucking mistake even mentioning Winter Soldier when they were starting to talk about this movie a while ago. Like, that's just a huge mistake. Like when they were talking about Acolyte and saying that the fight was, you know, Duel of the Fates level. No. You don't say shit like that. It's just not smart. You're setting insane expectations for yourself that you're likely not going to fucking meet, and the audience is going to shit on you for it. You know? Travis says, I'm also in the minority who dislikes Winter Soldier. It's probably just that style of movie that doesn't work for me. Yeah, I would have to say so, because otherwise you're fucking insane, Travis. I like you. I'm glad you're a regular, but you're also crazy. Matthew says, well, that is what they did with Last Jedi. They said it was Empire Strikes Back. Same Disney. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that one. You're right on that one. So yeah, I am not. This synopsis does not create enthusiasm. I gotta definitely say that. That's about as average as it's been sounding this entire time. Honestly, since we first started getting information out about it, it's been sounding average. This seemingly confirms said averageness. And that's not thrilling. Average needs to be done. We need to be done with average. But as long I guess we could still be riding the high enough off Deadpool and Wolverine that as long as it doesn't suck complete buttholes, as long as it's good enough, I think we'll still be all right. And I'm really starting to turn around on how good I think the Thunderbolts is going to be at this point as well. So, you know, I'm wondering if that fundraiser that Bucky that's mentioned in this leak is that setting we saw him all dressed up in the Thunderbolts trailer. Like, will Thunderbolts and Cap 4 be kind of running concurrently, maybe? Running parallel. Like, Cap 4 is up here, Sam's doing his shit, and then Thunderbolts is down here, Bucky doing his shit. That could be interesting. But yeah, as long as I think as long as it's decent, we'll be fine. I don't think the Marvel's dead shit will be will come back. I mean, some people will bring it back, obviously, but I don't think it'll be the overwhelming opinion the way it's been, like, basically up until Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I said, Thunderbolts is really starting to look good, and then, of course, Fantastic Four. So, and the introduction of RDJ Doctor Doom. So yeah, I think we can make it. I think we after next year, I think we're actually probably going to be pretty happy MCU fans again. At least I'm fucking hoping. Matthew says, Harrison Ford is a very good actor, though I really hope they do something that isn't too cartoonish, as they would waste him. Yeah, if they treat Harrison Ford like they treated Christian Bale in Love and Thunder, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Like, pissed. I will shit all over that if they do that. Brooks says, I would be okay as long as the action sequences are super good. I mean, yeah, that would help. And Brooke also says, I agree, is trying to be like Winter Soldier. Yeah. Rob says, if you want to do a Manchurian Candidate story, make Isaiah the real hero. Let him help Sam uncover the plan and stop it. At least build in some 80s and 90s action movie vibes. Bro, that is a great idea. I like that. That would be cool. And like I said, they still could do something like that. They got November, December, January, February. They still got like 4 months before the movie comes out. And we know Marvel is always working on them bitches like literally till the day of release. So they could. Their steps could still be taken to pump up this movie. Although, with all the shit they've done to try and fix it, this movie now has cost them $370 million. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but yeah. I don't know if this movie's actually going to make money. Because at a $370 million budget, you would need to make over $900 million. Yeah, at a $370 million dollar budget, you would need to make right around $900 million to break even. And based off this leak, this ain't no $900 million movie, bruh. Yeah. Matthew says, RDJ elevated the material. He made me believe in Iron Man as a real person and made the idea less ridiculous. That takes acting and charisma. Yeah, RDJ is the best actor in the MCU. I will die on that fucking hill. Rob says, I really want Thunderbolts to be a hit. Griff says, finally off. I missed Cap 4 spoilers. Yeah. You did. You're going to have to watch the replay, motherfucker. I love you, but you won't have to watch the replay. Rob says, 370 mil. They're so screwed. Yeah. Yeah, they ain't making money on this fucking movie. Barring a miracle. They ain't making money on this fucking movie. Yeah. You know what though, Griff? Tell you what. I can do. I will. As soon as I can get my fucking mouse to cooperate. Why won't you let me? Okay, I'll try and share the post to the Discord so you can read it yourself. Or you can just, rewind it or fast forward the replay till about 2:45-ish. About the 2 hour and 45 minute mark, somewhere in there. That'll get you close. You can fine tune from there. Travis says, even the scenes with Giancarlo in the trailer looked like they were filmed with Filmic Pro on an iPhone. Yeah, well, they filmed them fast just to be able to get them in the trailer. So I'm sure we're going to get one more trailer before February. So we'll see. We'll see what they do with that one. It'll be interesting. Yeah, these that plot, that leak, not super inspiring, unfortunately. Not inspiring much. It doesn't sound like garbage. It doesn't sound like a dumpster fire. It doesn't sound like AS. But it also has zero wow factor. What do I know, Rob? Matthew says, what is the release schedule? It's always about the competition and the fan sentiment. Even sometimes I wonder what audiences want because it's so hard to capture. So far as comic book movies go, they want something reasonably close to the comics that treats the characters the way they're used to them for the most part in the comics, and gets us a good story with good action. That's basically it. An MCU found footage style film would be so interesting. Maybe a plus series. Ooh. You know, it'd be a good place to do that in the supernatural when they Fat Thumb hit send instead of space. I got you. So that should be an MCU found. Okay, I got you. I think a found footage style MCU project would be great when they really start digging into the supernatural side. Like once they get Blade out and start getting into Midnight Suns and shit. That'd be a good area for, I think, a found footage style MCU film to go in. Genre, section, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that. But I think its most appropriate place would be in the supernatural side. Because let's face it, found footage has mostly been used for horror. So, Travis says, a lot of the movie looks like it's filmed in random parking lots and driveways. But I'm excited for Red Hulk and seeing Leader again. Yeah. I'm definitely interested to see Harrison Ford Red Hulk. And I'm definitely interested in seeing the Leader. I'm really hoping that the Leader isn't as shallow as these leaks make him seem. Matthew says, a lot of movies flop that shouldn't. And honestly, The Marvels is one of those. It should not have been highly successful at all. Don't get me wrong, but it only getting $200 million worldwide was a statement on Marvel, not a statement on that movie. That movie should have made, 5 or 6. I mean, it still would have lost money. It still would have been considered a failure. A failure, no matter which way you cut it. It was not going to make money. But it should not have bombed that hard based on what the movie itself actually was. You know, it was not that bad. It wasn't great by any stretch, but it was not $200 million bad at all. A lot of movies flop that shouldn't, and ones that on paper sound like they would not work or be a success are big hits. Are fans tired of superheroes and sci-fi, or is it bad film syndrome? It's totally bad film syndrome. Deadpool and Wolverine made $1.3 billion. If it's fun, if it's good fun stuff, people show the fuck up. They will. It's just bad film syndrome. Rob says they could also do an Alien-style series in the space trope. Generate some Ellen Ripley vibes going. Dark, funny, badass. Yeah. They could probably set something like that in like the Shi'ar Empire or the Kree. I think setting something like that up in the Shi'ar Empire would be pretty fucking fun. You know, get some Guardian action going. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. All right, that is all my planned subjects. But as usual, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, I am more than happy to hang out and chit-chat. But if not, I am also ready to dip out of here too. Because I got weed to smoke and some fights to watch. I don't know if you guys know this, but UFC 307's tonight. I didn't buy the pay-per-view. I can't afford that bullshit. But I can watch the early prelims and the prelims. Those are all generally pretty fun as well. And who knows what the hell else I'm going to do. But anyway, what have you for me, chat, if anything? Let me know. Hit it. Hit me with it. Matthew says, I want X-Men before I'm 70 years old. When does that come out? Well, Secret Wars is May 27. I would imagine... fall 27. I don't think they're going to fuck around too long. I mean, Phase 7 is supposed to be the beginning of the Mutant Saga. Or Phases 7 through 10. Or 9, I should say. It is allegedly supposed to be the Mutant Saga. So, since Secret Wars is coming out in May of 27, and it's supposed to soft reboot the MCU, I imagine we will get our first X-Men movie fall of 27. Definitely no later than spring 28. But I would imagine we'll get one fall 27. Which means we'll probably start hearing rumbling. We should, if that's the case, we should start hearing rumblings about it by the end of next year. Ooh, Griff likes what Rob's saying. Yeah, so unless you're like in your mid to late 60s already, Matthew, you'll be okay. It'll be out before you're 70. Rob says, until Stanley is reincarnated as a banana-flavored Twinkie, make mine Marvel. Not sure what you mean with that, but yes. Travis says, the part that made me nervous was Sam yelling Isaiah's name in the trailer, and I couldn't help but think how many people won't know who that is because they didn't watch the show and avoid it. I don't know that not knowing who Isaiah is will cause people to not want to watch the movie. I also think they'll probably give us a little background in the movie just because they know Falcon and the Winter Soldier was booty cheeks. So, but yeah, I don't really see not knowing who Isaiah is being a detriment. At least not for a lot of people. Some people could be. They might be, who's this fucker? The hell with this movie. I don't think that's going to be a widespread phenomena, though. Honestly. No, I'll just do it this way. Minimize it. Yeah, downloading, update, installing, blah, blah, blah. Hurry the fuck up with that shit. Rob says, that is how Marvel Comics signed off, was a less perverse make mine Marvel than that. Okay. So it was a good night, bro, and all. Oh, all right, man. See ya, brother. Love you, man. Install faster, motherfucker. I'm trying to do some shit. What is your problem? Maybe I'll have to do it the other way. This thing's pissing me off. Oh, no, there it goes. Yeah, you saw me threatening you, didn't you, bitch? And he says, I liked Stan's bullpen. It was like being told a story by your uncle or something. All right, where is my... Where is mine own Discord? What the fuck? Oh, dumbass, do that. All right, let us do this. Boink. Okay, Griff. I just posted the link for the leak in the Discord. In the general. If you wanna check it out. If you want to check it out. What's the word on the car? The word is my mechanic is super busy, so I haven't even been able to get it in yet. Hopefully I'll be able to get it in Monday. But for right now, me and Mrs. Chillin are forced to share. It's not like we've never done it before, but it's kind of a pain. Travis says, in general, Isaiah Torres and just Harrison playing Ross, who I didn't even get the vibe from the trailer, was Ross. Seems like a lot of obscure things that would push people away. I mean, potentially. It potentially could. However, I think... how should I put this? Most people don't think quite that deeply. Honestly, Travis. They really don't. People that think like that, we're in the minority, sir. So... I'm not saying what you're saying is not valid at all. I'm just saying it probably only applies to a vast or to a very small portion of the fandom, is what I'm saying. That's all. Weird. Okay. No. The motherfucking D-O-double-G. Snoop Dogg. Cool. All right, anything else, folks? Because if not, I'm getting the fuck on out. What you got for me? What you got for me? Feeling tired too, but it was a fun stream. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate you. Get some rest, bro. All right. We calling it, I guess, then. Excuse me. So, it's time to go. Closing time. All right. So, I hope you guys had fun. I had lots of fun. Great stream again, says Travis. Have a good night. Thank you, sir. I missed you guys this week. Honestly, this week's been ass. So I was so happy to be able to get here with you guys tonight and hang out and talk nerdy shit and whatever else and chit-chat and just, get back into our vibe. Griff says, I missed most of the stream, but what I caught was on point as usual. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that a lot. Matthew says, he played the president in Air Force One, and he played Jack Ryan. He was Dr. Richard Kimball, Deckard Replicant Hunter, and Han Solo and Indiana Jones. How can he not nail this part? Oh, he's going to nail it, dude. Harrison Ford is going to smoke that part. Brooke says, Air Force One is definitely a must-watch. Oh, yeah, that movie's great. Get off my plane. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, I want to thank everyone for being here, or whether live here, participating in chat, or lurking. And, of course, if you've made it all the way through the replay, thank you very much. If you did not on your way in, please on your way out, hit the likey button. And if you have not done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. I am trying... I really, really want to get to at least 300 subs by the end of the year. It is now October. I only have 3 months left, and I need 80 more. So, please share out my stuff. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Like my tweets. Leave a lot of comments on these streams after we're done. Show YouTube that it should love me, so it shows me to other people, so I hit my goal. And, of course, I am still going to try and scrape up an entire Saturday for myself so I can do that subathon, too. by the end of the year. So, help me, please. I'm trying to get to 300. I would greatly appreciate it. But even more so, I appreciate the fact that you guys spend any time with me at all. That is awesome. You guys are awesome for doing that. And I appreciate it more than words can say. So thank you for being here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And yeah, I'm going to make sure somehow or other I can participate in some fashion on Wednesday night. Because again, I'm at a wedding next Saturday, so no stream next Saturday. So I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure I can do something with y'all in some form on Wednesday. All right? So have a good rest of your weekend, and we will see you later. Peace, people. Oh, yeah. Chicka-chicka. Doop, bow, bow. Yeah, it was fun, y'all. That was a whole lot of fun. I needed that. I needed you guys. I missed you guys. And I'm so glad we got to hang out tonight. I'm so glad y'all came through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Griff, I don't think Mrs. Chillin wants you sharing your stuff. No, you're absolutely right. She does not. That is 100% correct. But she would be very happy if, the channel grew. As would I. So. Y'all are awesome. I love this community. Let's all help it grow together. Do we not want more awesome people here? I want more awesome people here. We should all want more awesome people here. So let's work together to make that shit happen. Aight. So, much gratitude, much love to everybody. And remember, wherever you're at, whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy, baby. See ya.